Good afternoon, beautiful human being. Fred here, and it is Saturday, December 20, 2025. I said in my last video that I was going to make a video addressing a statement that Jesus made, which was in Luke 12, verse 31. And I'll show that to you. He says here, well, really the whole passage is about not worrying, right? So he's basically talking about our basic needs, right? He says, don't worry about your life. Don't worry about what you're going to eat, you're going to wear. So food and clothes, basic needs. And isn't that what a lot of our striving is for? So he's talking about not worrying, right? And just look at nature. And I showed you, this beautiful spot last video. It was at the tail end of summer, so there weren't really any flowers left. But it was beautiful. And if we look at just nature, it just shows us how, God could have made everything just super plain and functional, but nope. He made it enjoyable. He made it beautiful. And that's why I greeted you as a beautiful human being. So at the very end here, he says of this statement, seek his kingdom, and these things will be given you as well. Seek his kingdom. So, I've thought a lot about this since I made the last video. I think it's very important to understand what he's talking about when he says to seek God's kingdom. Matthew 6:33, I won't show you this one, but I'll read it to you. The way he puts it there is, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. So he adds there, Matthew, not adds, but he's actually talking about a different sermon Jesus gave at a different time, where Jesus, he said seek first, meaning it's above everything else, right? Before everything else. And what is our highest priority? What is our highest goal? And his righteousness. So, but let's focus on what Luke said about that sermon on the plain that Jesus gave about seek his kingdom and all these things will be given to you. Let me get something out of the way first. I'm an American. I was born in America, born American. All right. Can't say it right. Born an American, and not naturalized, but born. So it's a great privilege to be an American. It truly is. And sorry for any wind noise there. But in America was founded on rebellion against kingship and royalty. It established a republic, a democratic republic, and so it literally was built on rebellion against the royalty of kings. Past few years, there's been I don't know when it began, but I don't know, just a couple months ago there were some rallies in the U.S. called the No Kings rally. Or No Kings protest. So I would say that I would recommend that anybody who professes to be a Christian do not adopt that slogan. Don't participate in that on that principle, because Jesus is King. Jesus, if you're a Christian, you have acknowledged and you've pledged your allegiance to Jesus as not just King, but your King. So I hope you're not saying no kings. He is actually the King of Kings. So we don't want to be rejecting kingship if we're claiming to be a Christian. So I'm gonna talk more about this whole American mindset with relation to kingship and kings. But I just want to get that out of the way, because honestly, Americans not only don't have an experiential concept of kingship, because we haven't lived under a king by definition. It's not a kingdom of America. So honestly, this statement that Jesus makes to seek first seek God's kingdom is not going to be intuitively. It's not going to be very intuitive. We're not going to get it. As if you're born and raised in America and lived under that authority. So let's just acknowledge that, first of all, that there's a huge disconnect, and so we have to dig deeper than perhaps the average person, maybe somebody who did grow up in a kingdom. There are still kingdoms in the world, and today. So, but then once we've kind of processed that, let's look at what that means to seek God's kingdom. What does that mean? If we're going to be looking for God's kingdom or first above everything. So that's what I'm going to share on a future video here. That's what I'm going to explore. Probably before that, I'm going to also look at something in American culture, which is that after I said all of that, and I was talking about political kingdoms and living under a political authority, king authority, Americans actually are obsessed with kings and very much want kings to look up to, and kings to inspire them, and kings to, let's say, follow. And I'll break that down, the culture in American culture today. So that's all coming.